are in listen-only mode.
Hello everybody, sorry, I was there talking away to you and no one could hear me. I hope you now can hear me. Just to confirm that some of you can I ask you to go to the GoToWebinar taskbar and click the hand, raise your hand to tell me that you can hear me coming through loud and clear. Those of you who can't hear me, if you can click your hand as well. Thank you very much, Angela and Ashish. Thanks for letting me know you can hear me. Much appreciated. That's great news. Secondly, just to confirm that you can see my screen, you should be able to see the 12 steps to more clients. Again, if you can raise your hand, then I know that you're there and you can see the 12 steps to more clients, the first one of the slides. Thank you, Angela, Brett, much appreciated. Thank you very much, Darren, and everyone else for doing that. Great. Well, let's crack on then, shall we? Throughout the presentation, I'll give you chances for me to have a look at your website. If you want me to, at certain sections, I need to look at different websites. So if you want it to be yours, just type your URL into the chat box and I can pull that up and concentrate on just parts of the webinar that I'm doing. So if you do that, I'll have those ready when I get to those bits. I won't be attacking anything. I'll just be showing you some things that can be improved. So I promise not to be rude. So 12 steps to more clients, that's what we're doing and that's what we're covering today. What's it going to mean? Well, it is basically exactly what it says on the tin, a Ronseal product. I want to tell you 12 ways that I use to win business on Autopilot that will work just as well for you, tried and tested and proven. A couple of things you should know about me before we start. You may have realized that I talk quite quickly. That's because I love doing what I do. I'm lucky enough to every day enjoy doing this, helping people to win more business, showing you what to do, talking to you now. This is where I am happiest because I know if you take away what I show you today, you'll get results. So I love doing this, but it does mean I talk quickly. So with that in mind, if you wait till the end of the webinar, I'll tell you how to get hold of not only the recording in this webinar, but slides, and I might throw in a couple of things. I tend to, as I go, just say, well, I'll do that for you, and that's no problem. So you'll get that at the end of it. The other thing I must tell you is I'm renowned for making really bad jokes. You only have to ask my kids, and they'll confirm that I do. So apologize in advance for those. Finally, at the end of the webinar, I'll give you a way. Of. Thank you for that. I'll give you a way of getting more information, even more advice, even more ways of winning new clients. I'll tell you exactly how you can do that, and I'll give you more of that at the end. But there's lots to come before then, and finishing off with a big question and answer session. So I don't want you to leave today with some questions you think, oh, I'm not sure about that, what should I do? At the very end of the session, for those that want to stay on, I'll do questions and answers. If you've got questions about your website or something you don't understand that I've covered, I'll go through it in more detail. Okay, I want this to be as useful as possible for you. So hang on for that. So clients on Autopilot. As I say, this is what I do in my business. So I'm going to share with you what I do, what works, and what I do for the hundreds of solicitors I work with and have worked with. We're going to look at the 12 steps to more clients, and we're going to look at winning those clients using your website. The reason I like to use your website is because it works really well on Autopilot. It's one thing that you can set up to work automatically with or without your input month after month. And so all my consultancy clients say, Nick, that's the thing we want. We don't want to spend all day, every day marketing. We want something that produces a regular and steady flow of new clients, and the website is, bar none, the best place to start. Secondly, if you've already got a website, it is quick and easy to fix. The things I'm sharing with you today will not take long for you to implement, and you'll get results from them very quickly. So it's a lovely, quick, easy way to go to get more clients without spending a fortune, which I'm sure you agree is good news. If you haven't yet got a website, then everything I'll share with you today will help to make sure you get the right website before you go ahead, because I've seen so many solicitors who come to me when they've just spent a fortune on a website and it's useless and they've had to start the process again. So it will save you making that mistake. The other reason to start with web is it's still online. Online is still growing. It's still a relatively new area. I know we think it's been around forever, but there's still a large part of the demographic that aren't using online. Well, over the next 20 years, that's going to change. So we've still got a massive growth tool at our hands to win you new business. The other reason is that people will Google you left, right, and center. When someone mentions you, recommends you, the first thing they do is go to their website. Well, if your website is really bad, even if you come recommended, the chance of them going on and instructing you is radically reduced. So I want to stop that. I don't want you having a rubbish website that scares people away. I want you to have one that encourages them to get in touch with you. And finally, the biggest reason, the best reason is there's two different forms of promotion of your services. There's what we call interruption marketing, and that is where you're doing something completely unrelated to your service. I'm watching television, I'm reading a paper, I'm listening to the radio. Suddenly you pop up, ABC and solicitors, use us, you must come to us. I'm not thinking about using a solicitor at that moment in time. I don't want a solicitor popping up in front of me. Perish the thought. So that's interruption marketing. You're trying to stop me doing what I'm doing and make me do something else. The beauty of your website, generating leads from your website, is it's attraction marketing. You bring people to you who are already looking for your services. They already want you to help them. They've typed in conveyancing solicitor, accident claim solicitor, whatever they've typed in, they are motivated and ready to buy your services. So if your website appears in front of them and you do all of the things I'm going to share with you on this talk and more, you will get the clients. So there is nothing better than popping up in front of someone that's already motivated and ready to buy legal services. And your website is your shop window for doing that. So it's a fantastic place to start. Why should you listen to me today? Well, I can tell you that I've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds, and I mean hundreds of thousands of my own money marketing websites for legal services, and even more marketing clients' websites to generate clients. So I've tried and tested every form of marketing out there for websites. I know what works, I know what doesn't, I know where to spend the money, I know where not to spend it, perhaps more importantly. So I've done all this and I've made it work. What about you? Are you a bit frightened by it? Are you a bit frightened by the changes in the legal processes and the new entrants to the market at the moment? Well, don't be, because there's enough business out there for everyone. I know that. I'm working with so many clients who are doing fantastically well. So if at the moment that's not you, don't worry, we can change that. So I just wanted to say, why do I do these things? Why do I do these webinars? Following on from an email I received from someone last week that said, Nick, I'm quite interested in your services, but you're always guaranteeing what you do, and that just, as a litigation solicitor, that opens you up for challenges. And why would you do that? And I thought that's a fair enough question. I mean, I spent 14 years doing litigation, and I remembered what happens then is you have clients that don't like you because you're dealing with a problem. In my case, mostly accident claims towards the end. You've got another side that's constantly trying to trip you up and constantly trying to push you down and push you out of the way and cause you problems. So you've always got people ganging up against you, whereas luckily now, I don't do that. I do what I love, which is winning solicitors more clients. This is what I do all day, every day. I love what I do. I'm a very lucky person to enjoy what I do. Now, if I know I've got this knowledge which can take you from worrying to a position of a successful practice, then if sharing it with you on a webinar helps you to understand that, this is what I do, this is Nick Jervis, he helps solicitors get more clients, fantastic, I'll achieve my aim. And if guaranteeing every product that I issue gives you the confidence to say, well, I'll give it a go, and if it doesn't work, Nick says I can have my money back, then I'll do that as well, because I'm not here to catch you out. I'm not trying to trip you up like the defendant on the other side or your client that's not happy. I'm trying to help. So, if guaranteeing does that, and that the extra I'll give you at the end or tell you about that you can work with me later on, that's guaranteed for the same reason. I don't want you to think, oh, he's trying to trick me, take my money, and then nothing will happen. I know what it's like to be sold scams. I bought enough of them when I was in practice. I bought advertising, always just about that £1,000 mark, and nothing ever happened. So I understand completely where you come from and why that person asked that question. But look, I'm just doing this because I know I can help. And if you try it and it doesn't work, you can have your money back, because I don't want unhappy people. I like working with happy clients. I spent 14 years helping unhappy clients. Now most of my clients are incredibly happy because their businesses are growing and they're successful. And that makes me happy in return. So if guarantees do that, then let's crack on. So where exactly are you now? I thought it might help by showing you my solicitor's ascension model. The other thing I didn't tell you about me at the beginning was obviously my drawing's not up to much, but it breathes a bit of variety, the slides. So where you want to be, obviously, is at the top of the triangle with the best business possible. Now, what I find, I meet solicitors at different stages of this process. Step one is struggle. You're not getting enough work in, cash flow is difficult, and normally that's because you've got one method of attracting clients, and to be honest, that's not working very well. It's not producing much in the way of return for you. It's not generating much work for you. So that's not a great place to be in. So that's step one. To get to the next stage, you need stability is when you've got enough money coming through the door, you're quite comfortable, you've got two methods of marketing that are probably working reasonably well, with or without much input from you. Might be your referrals, you might have an ad in the local paper. It's going okay. You get to step 3 and you're at success. You've got 3 or 4 methods of marketing that are automatically bringing clients to you month after month. The business is good. You're able to take a bit more time off. You're able to go off and see the kids' shows or whatever you want to do because it has got better. So that's a great place to be in. And then finally on top, you hit the cream where you can really just concentrate on growing your business. You've got enough staff doing the work for you, and you've got good profit coming through. Now, normally, obviously, it takes time to get from struggling to success and to cream and beyond. The wonderful thing about your website, if you get it right, it is the one way that you can jump from struggle to stable to success and even to cream immediately. And it's a massive difference, I know, for a small firm or for, to be able to go from not having enough clients to having a steady and consistent flow of new clients is a life-changing thing. And it's what I've done with my website, and it's why I want you to do the same for you, because it works. It brings you more clients on Autopilot, and that's, I understand you want to spend time looking after your clients, so this is one way of doing that. So let me tell you about the duty of your website. Your website has 2 distinct and very important duties, and you have to address both of them. And to be honest, the second one's probably the more important to address, but the first one is always where people like to start, so I'll start there, which is how do you get people to your website, and that's duty 1. And duty 2 is then, how do I actually turn those people into clients of mine? How do they become clients? How do they pick up the phone and get in touch? So section 1 will deal with how you get people to your website. And the first part is content. And let me tell you a story about content. Solicitors always say to me, well, I don't want to put too much information on there, because if I put too much information, the clients won't need me and they'll just go off and do it themselves. Well, I can promise you that's not going to happen. All right, a client seeing how a conveyancing transaction works isn't going to happen. If you're one of those people that says, well, I only read bullet points, that's all I want to see, that's fine. You can cover that by having lots of content, breaking it up with headlines and bullet points. That's fine as well. But let me prove you by way of an example how important it is that you have enough content on your website, and then I'll go through the whys and wherefores. I worked with a firm and we set up this fantastic website, 100-odd pages, lots of content on every page, 400, 500 or 600 words. It was really content heavy. So you might think, yuck, horrible. It attracted an awful lot of traffic, it attracted an awful lot of visitors, and those visitors turned into clients. It was incredibly successful. I stopped working with that firm and bumped into one of the partners a couple of years later. He said, oh, we got rid of that really big website you arranged for us, and we took it back to basics, and we got a small 5-page website now that just outlines the basics of what we do. We didn't need all that information. I said, oh, okay, well done, and I assume overnight you stopped getting any inquiries as well? How did you know that, he said. So you've taken away what was actually bringing in those visitors to your website. Once you remove the content, you've got no chance of getting people to your website. Google doesn't know what your site is about. It stops sending you visitors, stops putting you in the search engines, and people stop coming to your website. So let me assure you that if you did nothing else except put a lot of content on your website consistently, you would eventually get a successful website. I listened to this sales trainer many years ago when I first started my business, and I was getting going. I listened to lots of sales and marketing guys. Frank Furness, and he worked in the financial services industry. And someone asked him, what's the best thing I can do for prospecting? What's the best thing I can do? He said, look, the best thing is to speak to a lot of people, and eventually you'll sell something. Same thing with your website. Have enough pages, eventually people will start to find it, and people will start asking for your help. So summary of content. You've got to have enough content for Google to work out what every single page is about, and that is 400 words or more. You've got to have enough content for human beings that attend your site for them to be able to see you know what you're talking about. You've got expertise because there's a depth of content that shows you're not just saying we do conveyancing, call us. There's a depth that says we understand the whole process. This is what it means. This is what we do. This is how we help you. And you've got to have enough content to sell your service, because it won't sell itself. You can't just assume that because they find your website, they find a page all about conveyancing or wills or accident claims or business law. You can't assume they're then going to go straight off and instruct you. You've got to take the time to actually get them to do that. We'll look at how later. What else do you need to do? Well, there's some boring elements to tags, but they are so important. I do a lot of website marketing, and 40 to 60% of your traffic is generated by what you do on your website, not by the links you set up or anything else. 40 to 60% comes from what you put on your website, and your title tags and description tags, and all of those elements are important, and they're best shown with the demonstration. Has anyone given me a website to look at? They have. I'm just going to it now. If I can copy that, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But it doesn't want to let me do that, so let's type it in instead. employmentlineuk.com. Okay, so we're onto a website here. Thank you very much, Carol, for letting me have a look at your website. So I was just talking to you about tags, and the first tags you get are those that are behind the page. You can't see tags, but let me assure you that doesn't mean they're not important. They're absolutely vital. So if you go to any page on your website, you right-click and you come down here to View Page Source. As I say, if you want to do this on your own website, I'll let you have the recording at the end. You then come to the back of the site, and the first thing you want to see is your title tag. And the reason you want to see this title tag is because if I do, this might work, it might not, but I love to try stuff. So if I put in what's in Carol's title tag there, look, we come to her website. So this is why it's important that you get your title tag here correct, because it's displayed into Google. It's in the search results. Okay. Now the next tag you then want to look at is, this is normally taken from the description tag. So we've got keywords, and there's the description tag. Now, sadly, on this website, an area for improvement instantly is put a more detailed description in there, because this should be your sales copy to get them to click through onto your website and to actually take action. So your title tags behind your website are absolutely vital to make sure you've got a chance of getting some traffic. So you've got title tags in the header there, as I showed you, and the description tags. You've also got image title tags. So as you hover over an image on your website, it should pop up with a description of what that image is, and that image should reflect the content of the page. So if you've got a page about employment law, as on Carol's site, the image should have an alt tag or a title tag which says Employment Law Solicitor Solihull. And that again helps Google to work out what this page is about. So you've now got the headline tags, you've got the image tags. The top of the page has a heading that says, you know, what you do, employment law specialist. So that's another tag. So you're telling Google exactly what this page is all about. You're giving it a chance of finding you. And if you've got any more questions about that, you know, I can follow up with those later on when we get to the questions section. I cannot tell you how glad I am that someone's decided to start drilling. I hope that's not going to be long, or I shall have to go and attack someone. So title tags are vital. Okay. Next thing, your results. Well, this one always makes me laugh. My wife's a big fan of the new James Bond, Daniel Craig. She's very much interested in his appearance. I can't see why myself, but it gets to the point sometimes that I think, well, I'm a bit annoyed about that. I want to do something about that. So if I go back to Google here, I thought I'd show that I could use my skills to good look better. There you go, better looking than Daniel Craig. I thought I'd prove once and for all that I am better looking than Daniel Craig. And as at the top of the pages here, you'll see that the first two results are my video and my article proving that I'm better looking than Daniel Craig. Because if you type that into Google and Google confirms that I am at the top there, then that must be the case, mustn't it? I must be better looking than Daniel Craig. Proof is in the pudding. There I am. I mean, you can see clearly that face is much, much prettier than that one. What can I say? The point I'm making is that that's at the top of Google, and the video's at the top of Google, because I wrote a very specific article targeting a very specific question or title, and it's an absolutely brilliant way for you to generate traffic to your website by answering very specific questions. What do I mean exactly? Well, if I'm an employment solicitor, going back to Carol's example, how do I find a really good employment law solicitor? How do I find the best employment law solicitor? Find me the best employment solicitor in Solihull. Get me an employment solicitor in Solihull. These questions, if you write an article answering the questions that people are already typing into Google, you will get quick traffic. You will get quick results. Okay, so proven with my Daniel Craig example, it's something you should be doing on a regular basis, and I'll show you at the end how you can get hold of more information about what people are actually typing into Google, because if you know that, you can keep answering their questions, you can keep getting more traffic to your website, which isn't costing you a fortune. So a good thing. So there is plenty of free traffic out there. Everyone goes after the holy grail, for instance, you know, whiplash claim. well, that's going to take you a long time. But if you are answering a more specific question, whiplash claiming a Volvo, you could get quicker results. And as I say, there's lots of questions to be answered. Adding content to your website on a regular basis, answering these questions, will get you good targeted traffic, which will turn into leads. So that's a good thing. Commenting on topical issues, newsworthy issues, if the press are covering something about accident claims as they have been recently, if you blog on the same subject, it very quickly gets into Google's listings and gets you results. So there's lots of ways of getting quick traffic to your website that doesn't cost you a fortune. So there's a couple of simple things that you absolutely must have in place on your website right now if you want to get more traffic. So adding more content, getting people to your site, writing articles that answer questions they're asking, and making sure that your tags and title tags and description tags are all set up the right way can get you traffic. Moving on to part 2, let's talk about your second duty of your website. Remember, part 1 is get people to it, and part 2, this is the most important one, is stop people leaving. Because even if you spend no time at all getting people to your website, they will automatically go there anyway when they hear about your firm, when they're recommended to your firm, they will go and they will check you out. So if they're checking you out, I need you to sit down a moment. The horrible statistic is, quoted regularly, and I call it the 98-2 rule, for every 100 visitors that come to your website, 98 will leave without doing a single thing. So they don't like your website. Something's not working. Now let me tell you that the actual figures, quite often it's for every 100 that come there, 99.5 leave without doing anything. So if you can change that, change things on your website now that constantly make that stop people leaving, so they get to your website, they stay there, they become interactive, and they get in touch with you, you can dramatically increase the amount of clients you're generating every single month from your website. And the changes I'm going to share with you today are not changes that you do once and it's done, forgotten. These are changes that will keep on working for you. So it's just a brilliant place to start. When I was sending out some information, I gave you some figures. I said for every, if you have 1,000 visitors to your website, 1% say converts, you get 10 clients. Okay. Look at that writing, that's beautiful. If you make just an improvement that brings in 2%, suddenly you're getting 20 clients a month. So that's 10 new ones that you weren't getting before, at an average fee of say £200, let's assume that's a spread of services, that's £2,000 a month extra. Now, isn't that worth spending a bit of time on for doing very little but just making changes to your website? It excites me immensely because everyone focuses on spending a fortune getting traffic there. You are already getting people to your website. And so if you spend some time making your website better, you will get more leads instantly, overnight, without cost, and you'll get more clients, and you'll get more instructions, and you'll make more profit costs, which is no bad thing to do, I don't think. So it's very important that you do that, and you give people, stop people leaving your site. So how do we do that? Firstly, you've got to make sure your message is right. This is one of the biggest problems I see. So has anyone else given me a questions? I can't see. Anyone else given me a haroldbenjamin.com? Let's go here and let's if you've been on my website, you'll know that I constantly make typing mistakes. Now you've seen me try and type live, you'll realize why. I get a lot of things wrong. Let's try that. Didn't like that. I think we're going there now. So when I land on the page, is this all about me? At the moment, no, I haven't got, where am I? So let's go into a page, what we do. Let's go into a service. Okay, commercial property, let's start there. Our commercial property department, led by Sarah Paul. Right, so it started off all about the firm and not about me. I've landed on this page, I'm looking for a solicitor. It needs to captivate me and get me interested in reading the rest of the page. So unfortunately, it's sort of making a common mistake. We do this, we do that. Confirming expertise, and what you need to do to turn that into great copy is say, we will use our commercial property experience to complete your sale quicker than anybody else, or we'll use our commercial property experience to ensure that your transaction goes through when 99% of solicitors would fail. We will make this happen because this is what we do day in, day out. So if I land on there and I'm looking at selling a property or buying one, suddenly you've said to me, we're different. You know, we're going to actually take our experience and make sure we use it to your advantage. We're going to make this better for you. We're going to make the whole process better. So the content needs to be all about me. It's got to make me go, yes, these people sound different. I want to use them. They understand where I'm coming from, what I want to do. Okay, so it has to be all about me. It has to be about me. So where, you know, get some empathy. Where am I? Where's my position? If I land on a family page, am I thinking of a divorce? What's my state like? You know, are you unsure? Are you uncertain whether you should be divorcing or not? Are you worried you won't be able to afford it or afford the legal fees? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking of divorce, by the way, but if I was. So you bring me into your conversation by talking all about me, because everyone wants you to talk about them. So you've got to flip your content around to be all about your client and all about their position when they land on that page of your website. And bear in mind, if you get the other parts right, they will land on the page that is relevant to them, because they'll have typed in, I need a good conveyancing solicitor, I need a good commercial property solicitor. I land on that page, and then suddenly you're saying, I'm a great one because I do this for you, and I do that, and I look after you, and I take care of you, and I answer your problems. So you know, it's got to be, the content needs to be all about me. And if you just think, as you're writing your content, my simple marketing definition is clients first. You have to put clients first in absolutely every single thing you do. If you think, as you're writing the content, am I putting my clients at the front of this, or am I writing about me? Am I saying we were formed in 1832, and am I saying, Nick, you just landed on my site. You must be worried about moving house. You found your perfect home. Are you worried it's going to fall through if the transaction doesn't complete on time? Yes, I am. Get me in there. So you've got to show empathy. You've got to make it all about me, and you've got to prove that you're the right firm for me, and that I'm going to use you. Next thing is you're confusing me. Your website is not doing exactly what I wanted to do. So you've got me to the site, I've landed on a page. If the content's all about me, I want to find out a bit more about you. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to have a look around your website. So let's see how I can get around your website. Let's go to another one we got here. You can tell it's live, can't you? Hunt solicitors. Let's go in and have a look. So if we're looking at how this is going to help me, I want to get around your website now. I've landed on the home page, got some information, got a pen, which interestingly, as I hover over that image, remember I mentioned to you alt tags, that hasn't got an alt tag, because if it did, it would pop up on the screen and say to me, you know, Hunt & Co solicitors are the best solicitors in Hollywood. So that hasn't got it. So there's one area that instantly could be improved. If we go here, I'm so glad you haven't let me down. Please don't take this the wrong way. It's a good thing. Law firm services are normally listed in terms of the importance to that firm. So as you see here, we've got residential conveyancing starting with an R first, then we've got commercial, then we've got claims, commercial lit, family, wills, then we've got probate, criminal or employment. So the order is probably written in terms of how the services have evolved to the firm, how they developed. I've started off with conveyancing, and that seems to be the most important one because it's at the top here on the header graphic, and it's also then wills and probate, claims and family. So it's not in an order that is logical for me. So if I'm looking for a service, the logical order is alphabetical. It's the only way a non-legal person is going to look around. One of the things I've got to commend this firm on, because it's one of my pet hates, is they've got wills and probate separately listed as services. Fantastic, well done, because they are completely separate services. To your clients first, they are totally different. I want a will, I'm not thinking of dying just yet, thank you very much, so I need will services. I want probate, well, someone's already gone, so that's the help I need. Two distinct services. We as lawyers might group them together because the same person does them, but it is not, from a client's point of view, a same service. So if your website says wills and probate, that again is something to change and something to stop doing. So don't confuse me. Make the navigation easy for me to find my way around your site. Make it easy for me to get back to your home page. So I'm further down the page. We've got a top navigation here, but it's quite a long way up. So, you know, I'd have a home page navigation on the left here, so that if I get stuck at any time, I can quickly get back to the home page and make it all easy for me. Fantastic that they've got an inquiry form on the right-hand side. I'll come on to that shortly, so I'll leave this one and come back in a bit. So the key point is get that navigation easy, make it easy for you to get around, and then when I go into each area of law, make sure there's enough content in here for me to understand that you know what you're talking about, for Google to be able to send traffic there, so we're short on content, you know, it needs to be going down the page much further, enough content, easy to use navigation, and hey presto, I might give you some instructions. Next question is, do you have enough of these? Fabulous glasses. I must get myself a pair, and you're thinking, I bet you've already got some. Happy clients. You know, when we're looking on websites for products or services, you will have noticed far more the importance and prominence of feedback from people just like you that have already bought that product or already tried that service or already had that holiday. TripAdvisor, Amazon, all of these sites are using real people feedback because it convinces other real people just like them that they're the people to use. So when it comes to your website, have you got 100, 200, 500, 1,000 testimonials on your website? If not, why not? Because any solicitor can, I'm not suggesting you would, but from a client's point of view, any solicitor can make up 6 testimonials. And most sites I see that seems to be the magic number. 6 testimonials, okay, well, that's just about passed. Not many firms I see have 100, 200, 300 testimonials. You know, your clients want to be convinced that you really are good at this. You do a lot of this type of law, and you've got a lot of happy clients. So testimonials are a fantastic way of stopping people leaving your site, because if I like what you say, I read the content, I'm able to find my way around your website very easily. Next thing is, wow, you've got a load of happy clients there. Well done. So that is an important thing to do, and you've got to keep collecting testimonials, keep adding them to your website, and don't stop until you get past 1,000. When you get to 1,000, I'll give a prize to the first person that puts 1,000 genuine testimonials on their website. I've yet to see it, but tell me when you get there. The other thing is to put alongside testimonials is case studies, because they're great content, because every case is individual. You might think they're all largely the same, but trust me, they're all individual, and just different facts. It gives you, guess what, each case study is a brand new page for Google, and it's likely to attract a very specific searcher who's had exactly the same problem as your client. Wow, if you've already done one of those, and at the bottom of that case study there's a testimonial from your client saying, you were fab, what a great job you did for me, I'm not going to go anywhere else, am I? So another great thing you can do there. Next thing is, should you always expect instant instructions? And the answer is no. You know, some people will be looking around, hence the 98.2 figure, you know, 100 people do a site. Some are never going to instruct you at the first opportunity. But if all you do is give them one option, and that option is to get in touch with you right away, you are missing opportunities. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do. You can give them white papers. You can give them access to a free quote if it's a service that needs a quote. Don't put the quote price immediately on the screen, because that will stop people coming to you. They'll just use your shopping comparison. That's a really good bit of advice if you just heard that, if you didn't play it back after. But you can use it to capture their name and address, and then you can phone them back. So you need to give people as many reasons as possible to interact with you. And on the training I'll mention at the end, there's a key difference between types of legal services being sold as to whether you should offer instant advice or whether you should offer a free report or guide that will bring them into a system that you can then educate them before they'll come back to you. But if you're only offering at the moment one chance of someone getting in touch with you, you need to change that. You are missing bunkles of opportunities. I'm sure bunkles is a word, is it not? Next big thing. There's always the next big thing on the internet, isn't there? Do you remember the walk-on video chat that used to come onto the website? You'd land on there and say, hi, I'm Brad Jones. Welcome to my website. You've come to see all about me, and I'm going to tell you all about me because I think I'm fantastic, and by the end of this, I hope you'll think I'm fantastic too. They were really annoying, and most of them, you couldn't stop them talking. That was the next big thing, I think, probably 3 years ago, and everyone was spamming me and trying to sell those to me. Funnily enough, don't see many of those around at all. Pop-ups with no close button. So you go onto a website, think this is interesting, massive pop-up fills the screen, and they don't even put an X on it, so you can't get there. Guaranteed to make me leave your website faster than a rat out of a drain pipe. Next thing that can work, does work, but needs time is live chat. Remember, what we're trying to do here is stop people leaving. So the video guy is going to make me leave, the pop-up's going to make me leave, but if I've actually got the chance of asking you questions, responding, that's a good thing, is it not? And the beauty of live chat is when it's working, it works. Trust me again, because as I say, everything I tell you, I have tried, and I have sat here, and I still sit here some afternoons just to see what's going on and answer live chat. because it's an amazing learning process. And if you ever want to find out, what people's questions are, live chat tells you that. You can go off and write the article that answers their question. It becomes instant traffic the next day. So live chat's a great thing. The problem with it is that it doesn't usually it doesn't stay on all the time. It's not 24/7. So it only stays on if you put it on. I've had lots of debates with solicitors about this, and some say, oh, I'm going to do it and I'll have it on every day and I'll never be away from my desk and I'll never miss a chat. And within a week or two of their website up and the novelty's gone, they're not turning live chat on. The pop-up says, sorry, no one's here to help you. It looks terrible, doesn't get used, it's a problem. So you don't want that. That's no good for your client. What you need is 24/7 man service, and there is one out there now, and I've got it testing on a couple of sites. It's working really well. If you would like information, if you think it's a good thing, and let me tell you it is a good thing, if you'd like information about it, just email me after the webinar and I'll let you have the details. And obviously I'll go into it in far more detail on the extended training about getting more traffic to your website. The other thing, I was pleased when I found this image with a nice t-shirt on. He's obviously either a lawyer or mocking them, which we don't mind. We get quite a lot of that. So next thing is, if you get past the problems we've talked about, if you get past content that's all about you, if you get easy to use navigation, if you've got lots of ways for me to interact with you and get in touch with you, you've got lots of testimonials and you've got live chat that's always on, you're doing quite well. I get to the point that I think, wow, you really are a great firm. I'm definitely going to use you for this situation. There's no better firm out here. Fantastic. I've read this page. It's exactly what I was looking for. You've answered a really long question that I was unsure about. You've proved you know what you're doing. Right, let's go. No, let's go. And you leave me there. And you don't tell me what to do. It's like having sat-nav and putting in Buckingham Palace, and it takes me from Bristol, and it takes me up the M4, and it puts me onto the A4, and it drops me off at Hammersmith, says, there you go, you're about there now, find the rest of the way yourself. I think, no, don't do that to me. Right, I'm off to Windsor Castle. Damn it, I can't be bothered. I saw that on the way here. I'm going there instead. Don't do that to your clients. Let's see if we've got someone else in here who's given me a website to look at. No, I think I've done everyone's website, but don't leave me hanging. Oh, that was good work. Hi, Nick. Anvil. Oh, we're going to Australia. Why not? Let's go there. Anvil Legal.com. I am available for consults in Australia. Just want to fly myself and my family over there. I'd be happy to come and see you. Right, let's have a look. So, how are we doing on this website with this problem that I'm just about to give to you? Oh, I'm not going to like a scrolling flashing bar. Is this a flash website? Okay, let's see where we go. So I want to go into let's go into, it is a flash website, not very Google friendly and not very user friendly these days. But look, that aside, if I read this page and it tells me about weekly payments, I think this is interesting. I haven't got testimonials, I haven't got the other things to nurture me and make me think this is good. I've got a next button. And then I've got all this information, but at no point are you saying what I've got to do to get in touch with you, to ask you to help me. So even if I'm on page 1 or 2 or 3, you haven't said, how do I get in touch? How do I get in contact with you? Give me lots of information, but you've left me hanging. You've left me at the edge of London without directions of how to get to Buckingham Palace. You haven't finished your job. And this is bad, because I want you to finish your job because I want to use you. You look like the right firm for me, but you haven't told me what to do. And the assumption we make is that the client will know, well, if they read it and they like what we're saying, they will go off and they will do the bit that they need to. They will take action. They'll get in touch. But they won't. They won't. They need hand-holding all the way to your doorstep. They need you to tell them exactly what they have to do at the end of every page to get in touch with you. So, make it abundantly clear what I've got to do, because I don't want to be left hanging. I don't want to be left on that precipice where I'm ready to jump, but you just don't tell me how to step off the edge. So you've got to tell me what to do. Give me options, not distractions. Tell me exactly what I need to do to make it happen, and have that one purpose per page that makes me take action. If I go back to Hunt Solicitors, one thing they did have was the inquiry form. I test changing that to make a free inquiry, but at least that's there. But at the bottom it says just contact Darren Rennie. That's one option. Give me more options. Tell me how I can get in touch with you. Give me as many options and reasons as possible. Next, let's talk about your time for a minute. your time is important. You've got to spend your time looking after your clients, looking after your staff if you have them, looking after all the regulations you've got to comply with these days. The reason I love a website is because if you get it right, you get a lot more of that time to do exactly what you want to do, and you get a lot more time to look after clients or to grow your business or to move your business from struggle to stable to success to cream. That solicitor's ascension model I talked about. You get time to do that. Now, if you could just take just the information I've given you today and apply it to your website, it will make a difference. And as I said to you, the difference it makes is not just once. It makes that difference time and time again. It constantly brings you new visitors and turns those visitors into new leads, leaving your time free to do what you want. So you can get an extra £2,000 a month. You can get an extra £10,000 a month. If you've already got traffic to your website, it's easy to make changes to bring more clients towards you. There's lots you can do. I have a question for you here. What point has struck you as, gosh, oh my goodness, I should be doing that? Just type into the question box anything that's made you go, oh no, why am I doing that? Or why aren't I doing that? Let me know if there's something that's made you go, gosh, and someone's already put content. Obviously they're thinking, I haven't got enough content. Damien, I agree. Content is king. You know, that saying is out there. What else? Brett says, contact us. Steph says, content too. Definitely. You know, someone else says, no website. Well, fantastic, because when you get a website, you can change all that. You can start to get it. And if you build it the right way, you'll get it right much more quickly, and you'll get results much more quickly. Steph also says all about the client. Absolutely, Steph, you've got to make it all about the client. Now, so I'm going to do more questions in a bit. So keep those questions coming, and I'll go through them shortly. So if you can get this right, thank you for all of you taking the time. I appreciate that to tell me that, you know, things are jumping out at you. I just want to show some things from some really nice people. And Martin here, completely unprompted, sent me this message, which I was delighted about. Thanks to your advice about my website, this last month I've had more new instructions than ever before in a single month. Now, Martin, I hope he won't mind me saying, is not the youngest man in the legal world. He's been doing this for a while, and he's had his busiest month ever. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. If I put my webcam on, you would see me smiling from ear to ear, and I just want to show you because it proves this stuff works. It's not mumbo jumbo. I'm not making it up. You know, this is real. I had another lovely chat with Panam and her husband Robert, and they're members of my Marketing for Solicitors scheme, which I'll show you how you can get free of charge in a minute. Nick gave us one piece of advice about our website, which easily pay for the Marketing for Solicitors service for a whole year. That's £50 a month, that's £600. And in terms of pricing, that man asked about my pricing. Everything I try and do, I try and price it at such a level that you take what I give you and you do what I tell you to do, it will pay you back time and time again. Marketing for Solicitors is £50 a month because it's supposed to be that horrible expression that I still haven't found a replacement for. If anyone has one, let me know. A no-brainer. You should be spending it and going, well, yeah, okay, it's £600 a year, but I get £10,000 in fees from the advice Nick tells me to implement, and away I go, okay? So that's where I price all my products. That's how I try and make this work, as I said, because I want you to do it because I know it works. And Nick O'Neill said he'd spent a lot of time and money on his website, simply wasn't producing the leads he wanted or expected, had a one-on-one with me. Things changed overnight. Website is now regularly providing me with new leads, new clients. Fab! Another happy person. So thank you for those comments, and you know that makes what I do so much better. So what would it be like if you had a website that every month was giving you more leads? How would you feel? How much time would you have available? How much more would you enjoy what you do? Because so often I see solicitors and they say, oh, Nick, you know, it's tough. You know, it's tough out here. I just wish I could do more of this type of law that I really enjoy, but the work's not out there, so I do this area of law that I hate, but, you know, it pays the bills. And I'm like, no, stop that, for goodness sake. Seriously, this is one life, one chance. Don't spend time doing the law you don't like, because A, you won't do it as well because you're fighting it, and B, just your days drag. Why would you want to do something you don't enjoy? I did law for 14 years, and I can tell you there is nothing, no part of me that is cut out to be a lawyer. Every part of me is cut out to be a marketing guy. I spend all day, every day thinking about this stuff. Weekends, friends say, why are you still talking about marketing? It's like, that's just what I like. I enjoy it. So if you enjoy an area of law, there's enough of it out there. You just haven't found a way to get it coming to you now. That can change. So how would that be if you got your website working and producing exactly what you wanted? Well, I hope that I can help. I hope that I can help you to do that. I hope that I've already shown you that I know what I'm talking about. There's so much more to come, which is why I'm launching this new training, because I want you to have a website that produces all of the leads you want, doing the type of work that you want, that's enough to keep you busy, enough to keep you profitable, enough to get you from struggle to success to cream, and enough to make sure that you can enjoy what you do, because that, to me, is vital. So I want to show you a way that we can do more of that, and that's why I've launched this new system for showing you. It's a 4 live webinar session where we go into more detail about every single element of website lead generation and conversion. It gives you the ability to interact with me on a regular basis, to ask questions like we've done today, and to go into much more detail and do much more reviews of each of your websites so that you get it right and quickly. So module 1 deals with leads right now. What can you do to change things? And that in itself, we could just spend time going through each of your websites and we could make instant fixes. So we'll do some of that, and I'll also give you proven things that you need to fix. The one error that every solicitor makes, the most important one on there is 60% of your website visitors, and I know this from all the sites we do, would rather do one thing, and in most cases, probably as high as 90%, you don't give them the chance to do that thing. That's worth changing. So I'll tell you what that is. And then number 5, the 2-minute trust builder. If you think about it, someone comes to your website, you've got 2 minutes, and probably 1.5 in some cases. It varies from website to website, but I look at this stuff. It's no more than 2 minutes. You've got 2 minutes to build trust and convince them you're the right firm for them. So I've got a process that does that, and I'll take you through that. Module 2 is about creating or refining your website. So if you don't have a website, we'll show you how to get it right, how it should be designed, how it should look and feel, and where everything should be on the page to give you the best chance of getting instructions, how to write content that works, that produces client instructions, that makes them take action at the end of the page, that ensures you don't leave them hanging at Hammersmith when they want to get all the way to Buckingham Palace, while your homepage can be largely ignored, yet everyone spends most time on it. The same method Steve Jobs uses to create more leads and more sales, and that basically is just on a recent holiday I was reading his biography by Walter Isaacson, which is a fantastic book. I mean, big fan of Apple. He wasn't a particularly nice man, Mr. Jobs, but he did some things absolutely brilliantly, and one of the things he did you can use to bring clients to your door. Secrets I learned from £5,000 a month. Yes, someone charges £5,000 a month just to tell you how to get more visitors. I'm not going to charge you £5,000 a month to tell you how to get more visitors to your website, so don't worry if that's where you think we're going with this. We're certainly not. Module 3, generating more visitors right now, things you can do, what works, what doesn't work, fast and slow methods. Sometimes fast is good if you're in dire needs of more clients. There's fast ways of getting traffic. Other times slow is good if you can wait that long. So for me, it's about putting in place a mixture so that you build something for the long term, but in the short term you have enough coming through the door to make sure you get from struggle to stable to success as quickly as possible. So we look at that. And module 4, we're getting to questions in a minute. Module 4, how changing the way you answer your telephone can lead to instant increases of volumes. The tool I've mentioned 24/7, but I'm going to let you have access to that if you want it because it's good. How to have your website tested by real people so that you get real feedback for a fraction of the cost. And you're going to get that anyway because I'm going to do a video critique of your website, one-on-one, a video that you can go away and look at either at the beginning of the process or at the end with that, whichever, it's up to you. But then other tools that I wouldn't do as well as I do if I didn't have them available. I'm going to tell you all the tools that I use to make my website work, to bring clients to me and to help get to them. Your extras. Any cricket fans out there? They see what I've done there? Cricket ball, extras. Wide? No? Okay. Telephone. I'm going to do a telephone interview with my Mystery Mary, my website marketing woman, and you also get to know her real name. But she's going to reveal what works, what doesn't work, cut through the rubbish that's out there. And gosh, there's a lot of rubbish out there. I give you access to my trusted suppliers. If you don't have a website, I'll tell you who can do one for you. And I don't do this, so it won't be me, but I'll tell you who you can use: graphic designers, website marketers. And as I say, I'll do a video critique of your website saying what you need to do to change it to make it work for you. Okay, so there's lots here. And as I say, the conversion expert charges £5,000 a week, £5,000 a month. This is a one-off fee of £495 plus VAT. which gets you the 4 live training modules, and they'll be running through June. It's guaranteed. Why do I guarantee? Like I say, because I don't want you to sit there and think, oh, should I, shouldn't I? This is guaranteed. If you don't think you're going to get back 3 times, 10 times as much as your investment with me, fine, I'll give you the money back. I don't want unhappy clients. I don't have unhappy clients, he says, touching wood. I have happy clients because what I say actually is proven. It's not mumbo jumbo. I'm not trying to sell you a scam. I'm telling you proven, effective techniques that will work for you. So, I don't want you buying scams. There's enough of them out there. And if at the moment someone's saying to you, oh, buy this for £1,000, well, if you join me today, you're going to get free access to Marketing for Solicitors for 2 months. And in there, I have a Saint and Sinners section where you can say, Nick, what do you think of this? Should I buy it? And the answer is normally no. So I can save you that 1,000, just spend the 500 with me, and you'll see a great difference. So and come to questions now. Just go to my website, /12, if you want to get more information and sign up today. I'm going to start in June, so it won't be open. It's only open for 2 weeks to join. But if you like the sound of it, and I really hope you do, then I'd strongly suggest you come and join me, because I am so excited about the subject. It's the one that is closest to my heart because it does what I said to you at the beginning. It brings you, when you get a website right, it brings you leads on autopilot, month after month, week after week, year after year. It works, and I know how to make a website work, and I want to share that with you, and it's going to be good fun as much as anything. So, have you got some questions for me? And I hope you have. Come on, give me some questions. Okay, thank you. I don't have a website. I know I should have one. Should I do this? Yes. The beauty of this is if you join me, then obviously what you can do is make sure you get your website right. And I've had people come to me after they've spent 5,000 or 10,000 on a website, and you don't need to spend that much, by the way, but they have spent a considerable amount and it's not worked. So definitely that could help. One from Darren says, organics, will your tips improve organic search ranking? Absolutely. A lot of what we're going to do will be based on what I've done with other clients. I've had clients that have gone from website visits of 1,000 or 2,000 a month to 20,000 a month, just based on, and that's not employing any external party to do any website marketing. So we're going to go into that in detail and show you how you can get that traffic. So absolutely. We have a website optimized for SEO, won't interfere with the content affect our rankings. More content, that's a question from Tyre, more content will never downgrade what you're doing with SEO. It will always improve it, and more importantly, it will convince people that you know what you're talking about. So, having more content on your website is definitely a good and very important thing. So, definitely, content will not ruin that. And if you've got a good SEO company, search engine marketing company, they will actually work with you to optimize that content. So the more content for them, certainly my company, if I put a new article up and it's got 600 words, they're over the moon, because they know they've got a much better chance of making that content produce new traffic. So more content definitely won't hurt that. Another question here from Damien. I know Damien. He says, as you know, our website is pretty poor. I won't tell you which website is. Can you give me the preferred name of your supplier so I can approach them for a quote? Absolutely, yes. That's all part of the service. Sign up and you get access to my trusted suppliers. You don't have to wait for the course. Just start. I can put you in touch with them pretty quickly. Let's look at the next question. I had one there. Is it worth buying in content? Nick, another Nick. Absolutely. I mean, look, as I said, this is all about automation. The way I want to teach you to show you how to get your website working is to show you exactly how to make this happen with or without your input. So if buying in content does that, if buying in content allows you to get the website content written, put up there, definitely buy it in. This isn't about making your life harder. This is about making your life easier. It's about me showing you exactly what you need to do to get work coming in. And I don't want to make this don't want to make this harder for you. I just seen someone else's comment that asked were I and Daniel Craig separated at birth? Thank you very much. You're definitely going on the hit list. Someone's asked, how can you check what people are typing in about you on Google? Fantastic. Yes. We'll go into that in detail you know, how people are finding your website and how you can use that information to set up even more relevant content to them to ensure that they instruct you and use your services. That's a really good question, and it's, you know, it's one of my favorite tools. I spend far too long looking at information about how people have found me and looking at stats and analytical details, and let me assure you, you know, with a man whose mantra is perfection kills momentum, I'm not a detail man, but when it comes to finding out more stuff that makes my website more powerful and allows me to get more visitors and more clients, love it, you know, no problem there at all. So that is a great thing to do, to spend time on. Does anyone else have any questions? All right, have you all rushed off to samsonconsulting.co.uk/12? If you've got any more questions, I will happily answer them. The course will start in June. There'll be 4 live modules. If you can't make the live ones, you'll get the recording. You're going to get access to precedent documents, materials, design templates, everything that shows you what you need to know and what you need to do to make your website generate leads for you. Okay, this isn't something that gives you half the cake and then lets you go off finding the rest of it. This is about giving you all of the cake and letting you eat it all as well. You know, I want some very happily fed stuffed lawyers, if you know what I mean. I mean stuffed in terms of you're happy, you're content, you've got enough, you've got a website that's producing, and it will get better and better as you do more with it. So, you know, I will give you everything you need. We're coming to the end of the session. I could do one more question if anyone has one. So if there's anything going through your brain, anything you're thinking about, type it into the question box and I will be happy to answer it, because I don't want you sitting there unsure what to do. So hopefully it looks like I've answered everything you need to know. Thank you very much for giving me your time today. I hope you found what I've given you useful. I guarantee you'll find what's on the other side at page 12 even more useful. And when you go to that page, you'll see this sales page, that Daniel Craig lookalike at the top, your guarantee, and you can then go straight off to click. You can have an easy pay option if you want. When you click that, you'll get sent off to this payment system, which is backed by Royal Bank of Scotland. It's perfectly safe. It works very well. And the final stage, once you've gone through that, is you go to the members only section, give me your details, and you're up and running. You're in on the inside. I'll send you the full schedule of what we're doing, and tell you, you know, what's going to happen and get you ready for the event. Looks like I've got one more question. Oh, thank you very much. Steph says, many thanks. Very helpful as always. Kind regards. Appreciate that. Thank you, Steph. 3 payments of 185 says 220 a month from Brett. That's VAT added to that. So the 185 is net, the 220 includes VAT. If you're the same Brett, and I think you are, that was in Australia, I have no idea how that works in Australia. But between us, I'm sure we could sort that out one way or another. So thanks all very much. I'll end there. Any other questions you'll be able to, Brett, that's like 20,000 bucks, Brett says. It'll be the best 20,000 bucks you've ever spent, Brett. Thank you all very much. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the interaction. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. I want to help you get a fantastic website. So hop over to samsonconsulting.co.uk/12. Join me on the course, and we'll have even more fun and get your website working hard for you as it should do. Thanks all for your time today. Have a cracking rest of the day.